Hi, how are you, good people? Great to be here today. I'm so excited. This is yet another day, and hope that we're going to walk this journey together like we promised in the beginning. This is Annie, your big mama. Karibu. Today, we are going to talk about those issues that we looked at in our previous videos. If you haven't watched it, by the way, go and watch it so that you're on the same page with everyone else of us. We talked about those things that make or lead to a separation or divorce, and we said we would be looking at each and every one of them, maybe not all, but some of the main issues that lead or cause divorce or separation. So today we are going to look at this getting it as a miss right from the word go. We know that divorce basically or separation starts from the very first day. These are people we get to meet, whether online, introduced by someone, or just meet in person, a colleague or whoever it is, and you think that this is a person that you would like to get to know a little more than you already know them. Maybe you're planning to get into a relationship with them. Maybe you intend to get to marry them at some point. So there's of course this step one that you've got to do. When you plan for a date, for instance, there are those things that you must get to know about this person. When you ignore this, when you overlook this, when you think that some of these things I will know as we continue, because there are those ones who will say what I know is adequate, it's enough for me to get to engage with this person in a relationship or even start dating them. You start dating someone when you have very little information about them, and this is what will eventually lead to this misunderstandings and fights and all that. So if we are able to get it right from the word go, from the beginning, right from the start, then we are going to have it a lot better, because those are things that will even serve as the red flags. You get to know that, hey, this person is highly irritable, this person gets angry very fast, this person is rude, this person is disrespectful of other people. For instance, like when you go on a date and just watch him or her, see how he treats even the waiter and the waitress. The way he handles them will most certainly tell you what sort of a person they are, because they will be nice and very charming and charismatic with you. By the way they treat the waiter or the waitress, you should take note of that, because that is how, when all this dust settles, he's gonna treat you as well. The way he treats his own parents, his own younger brothers and sisters, that is information enough to tell you what sort of a person you're dealing with. Sometimes you will go out with someone, maybe it's the first date or something, maybe they get to take their wine or their drink, they are drunk and they get rowdy. Do not be mistaken, do not be lied to. That person is going to be like that. And remember, if his own mother or her own mother or their upbringing did not get to change them into that person that you desire to be with, chances are very slim that you're going to change this person even in the future or when you're married. So many are the times that we keep lying to ourselves that, hey, I think I can put up with this. Once we get into serious dating, or when we get to marry, then this is going to be a little different. Maybe I can help him change, I can help her get to improve in this area or another area, like that. More often than not, these things do not get to happen. And even if someone was to exhibit some changes, that will be very short-lived, because that is not them. They're doing it for you. Maybe they're doing it because they want to win you over. Maybe they're doing it because they still want to continue having you in their life. Maybe they're doing it because they want to walk you down the aisle as their marriage partner, and you're now theirs for keeps, because you've signed that marriage certificate, because you're now theirs, because you've bought children for them, because everyone in the family knows that you're now husband and wife. Now this is the time that someone just starts, pulling out their true character one after another. They start becoming disrespectful, they start becoming rowdy, they become rough with you, and they do all these things. And then you'll be wondering from your corner, hey, what happened? This is not the man I dated from whichever time. This is not the woman I first fell in love with. What is it that has drastically changed? I mean, we are no longer even in proper communication. We do not get to agree on one single thing, and they've become even violent. They are so abusive. You're emotionally and psychologically abused, and you keep wondering, no, I don't think this is the same person I once dated. This is not the same person I once fell in love with. Because you're sitting here and telling yourself that they have changed. No, they haven't changed. They haven't changed. It is you who chose to overlook these things. The red flags were there. You saw all the red flags. It is you who chose to look the other way. You looked the other way because you thought that these are not serious issues. You thought that these are things you could just brush over and walk them over and have them change. You think that you can just do this and they change. No, those things cannot just happen. If anyone, man or woman, wants to change, it is because they intend to, they purpose to, they get intentional with that. Even if it is alcohol, for instance, someone drinks alcohol, they get very drunk and disorderly and all that kind of thing. If you do not like it, it is them who must change. You cannot talk someone into changing or quitting alcohol if they do not want to. Even if it is other drugs or cigarettes or whatever else it is, whatever someone does and they are okay doing it, for as long as you are not them, you cannot change that. You will not change them. You will not talk them into changing it. Change must begin with them, and that is only if they want to change. So ladies and gentlemen, these are things that we must have our eyes wide open, be on the lookout right from the beginning, because sometimes you get way into the relationship or way into the marriage and you're like, oh my God, these are things I did not know about them, these are things I never noticed, these are things, and you're torn in between either quitting or having to cope with it. So you are made to stay because you're not comfortable living. Maybe the children are involved, and particularly when children are involved, it becomes a little more complicated. So when you're torn between quitting or coping, you are like, how do I now move from here? That's when resentment sets in. That's when you start behaving and acting indifferently. And once indifference sets in, this marriage is on its way down. It is on its way down. The only other way you can want to rescue it is enhance your communication. Speak to your partner. Tell them, hey, this is not what I wanted when I got you. This is not what I was looking for. If they are willing to also keep this marriage alive and going, they're going to change. They're going to endeavor to change. Because anything that makes one's own partner angry or uncomfortable, then it is you may not see it as a bad thing from your end, but for as long as it's making that other person uncomfortable, it's annoying them, it is something that will most certainly then affect this marriage. So it will call for a serious dialogue. If you cannot do it amongst yourselves, you can call a trusted partner, a friend or a relative, or even seek professionals who will be available to have you guys talk through, discuss these things, and find an amicable way of going about this. But should all these remain unresolved and discussed, you do not get to express your feelings, another one does not get to express their concerns in this marriage, then that marriage is most certainly on its way down. For us super singles, we say that hey, lazima tukae rada. When you're beginning to date someone, or when you're beginning to like someone or getting comfortable around them, before you even start dating them, be on the lookout. Get to understand a few things about this person. If those are things that you can live with, fine. If there are things that you think these ones, I don't think I will manage, not now, not even in the future, or maybe yeah, it can pass today or tomorrow, but then after a while this will not work with me. These are things that you must be on the lookout. Fungua macho. So you must get to know, understand who this person is, even before you get to commit into a relationship. This way, it will save a lot of things that may arise during the relationship or even somewhere in the marriage. So it is taken care of right from the word go. So guys, we agree that before we start dating someone, before we get into a relationship, before we get to marry them, we are going to take our time to understand what sort of a person they are and see whether we are compatible, because that would be the basis for which, when love goes down, when you do not feel they are as exciting to be with as they used to be, then there are these things that will help you hold on to this relationship, hold on to this marriage, even when love feels like it's dead or it's gone, dormant. There are those things that will most certainly continue holding you together in that relationship or in that marriage. And this way, we are going to be growing together even in this marriage. It will reduce issues of conflicts and all that. Okay guys, let's get to purpose to do exactly that. Let's get to understand them. Let's get to understand each other. Let's also get to make them understand us. Then we can move on amicably and the relationship will be super. So ladies and gentlemen, here we come to the end of this. I wish to remind you to hit that like button, subscribe. Don't forget to share with your friends, and let's meet pale kwa comment section where we expect to hear what your thoughts are. Please share with us what your thoughts and your experiences are. Let's get to learn together and grow kwa pamoja like we agreed, because we are the super singles. This is Annie, your big mama. Bye.